perhaps you can start by describing the strategic environment Japan, Australia, and this region faces itself in right now.
Okay. As we all know, the strategic situation surrounding Japan is very complex, very difficult, testing, and the degree of difficulty, the degree of challenge is only increasing, I think. We have two nuclear superpowers, Russia and China. And China is China is increasing its military capability and also their operational reach in this region. And China is really engaged in their coercive attempt at change the status quo. I think what you're witnessing in the same country is one of those one piece of that's one indication, and also what they're doing in South China Sea as well. We also have North Korea. Since mid '90s, have undergone 6 nuclear tests, and, many ballistic missile launch, which really fueled their missile development. And it's a North Korea's military development is concern for all I think all parties concerned, including of course Japan.
Sorry to cut to the chase, but does the Mogami help Australia prepare for war or prevent it?
Prepare for war. I think preparing for war will lead to good chance of preventing war.
How close do you think we are to it?
What's that? Sorry.
How close do you potentially think we are to it? Are we skirting around the edges or heading straight in?
Sorry,
are we skirting around the edges of war, or do you think we're heading straight in?
I don't think we're are you suggesting that we're sleepwalking into war or something?
Linda Reynolds, former Defence Minister, told me she believes we're already at war in some capacity. Yeah.
War in some capacity. Maybe. Who said that again, please?
Linda Reynolds, former Australian Defence Minister.
Oh.
Peter Lay, also the former Chief of Australia's Army, has said he believes we're at war in some capacity too, both cyber and space.
Well, if you expand the definition of war, what's happening in the so-called gray zone, could be framed as war, although we don't necessarily frame that as war. For example, you have many ways in which you engage in strategic competition. Oftentimes involving law enforcement entities with military assets, over the horizon, if you will. And this struggle or competition are, the actors engage in those strategic competitions over, territory, over strategic interests, over, bigger say in international arena, and that struggle or competition really obtains in, as you said, cyberspace and other domains. It's one way to say that's a war, but it certainly is not a war where bullets flying.
What signal, sir, do you think Australia deciding to buy the Mogami will send to Russia and China? And what message do you hope to be sending?
Well, I would just say what kind of message Australia wants to send is strictly Australian business. And what I can say is, Japan, Japanese JMSDF, Kaijo Jieitai, and Australian Navy operating, common platforms, which have very high compatibility and interoperability with the U.S. Navy. Itself is a strong message to the close mind of these three liberal democracies, of the free world, and I think our Australian friends could leverage that potential in many kinds of messaging. That's the way I think.